Namaste and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sattology, Debunking Mythology. Sat means truth, Logos means a study or science, Sattology means a science of truth, study of truth. It's opposite of mythology. Myth in Sanskrit means a lie, fake, or imagination. It was combined with the Latin word logos to form mythology, which means a study of fake, science, imagination, fake, lie, or imagination. Mythology word was coined particularly in respect to the Vedic scriptures, and today the connotation of mythology is history, which is a very fake connotation. Denotation is very clear. Now, coming back to today's topic is about yoga and also the culture of Sanatan. Now, when we talk about culture of Sanatan, it comes from Vedic literatures. Vedic literatures have been with the mankind from the beginning of the first created being, and they're still there. Nothing has gone away. In between, many people, many philosophies have come and will go away. But Sanatan Dharma is going to stay. And yoga is the only way to advance, is the only way to advance. And I am very emphatic in saying, not just because I practice it, because it has stood the test of time. Even in America, 50 million Americans love Eastern culture, especially from India, about Sanatan Dharma and yoga. So without delay, let us invite a great friend and also a scientist, a yoga scientist. So welcome, Atul Vyas ji.
Very good morning to all of you.
So, Atul ji, we were just discussing before we started doing this show that how Sanatan Dharma can never go away, and yoga also cannot disappear from the society. And why do you think that is going to happen?
Well, Sanatan Dharma, the name implies eternal, continuous. So in India, we name it, you know, how Indian we name things in Sanskrit. Like, for example, how our saints named the trees as Vriksha. The system was they would see the tree, they would meditate on that, go deep into the meditation, and when they will hear a certain sounds, they will come out, and that sound would be the name of that object. So when they meditated on tree, they hear in the meditation vriksha, vriksha. So they named it vriksha. So when the in this tradition, if the our Hindu religion or whatever you call it is being named Sanatan Dharma, does have meaning Sanatan, and it is eternal and it will be eternal. And till now we have seen that for at least there is a recorded evidence of 12,000 years this Hinduism is there and is getting stronger day by day. So this is for Sanatan Dharma. And for yoga, yoga is basically, you know, is a combination of movement, breath, attention, concentration, awareness. So when all these things together is called yoga. So man, wherever they are, in whichever country they are, they move, they breathe, they are aware, they have got awareness, they have got power of concentration. So when all these things are there, so this is yoga. So people will not stop moving, people will not stop breathing, people will not stop having concentration, people will not stop being aware. So yoga is going to be there and it was there and will be there, Aditya ji.
No, very well said. And in there is one verse comes in Bhagavad Gita: Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is the art of doing karma or work or action, any action. And the principles of yoga can be applied to businesses, can be applied to politicians, can be applied to any profession. And it is so widespread So, what is one thing which takes yoga to everything? And I've also read many places, and I myself practice it. You are the scientist or the guru of yoga. Your mother, yourself, your entire family is dedicated to that. What is one thing in yoga that makes everything complete? And even many Muslim groups have started doing it in a big way. In fact, in if
Pranayama.
you
I will limit pranayama.
uh
Pranayama is there in everything and it connects with everything because pranayama is directly related to mind, or we call it man. Breathing and mind are related. So pranayama is a thing which has an eternal and extensive presence in every field of the world, wherever the human involvement is there. Aditya.
very well, because the pranayam is the essence in yoga, and we you have explained many times that breathing exercises, you gave formula also. Now, the the biggest thing which comes in the popularity of yoga, and I can say more from the American perspective, is people get relief when they do yoga, relief. And but this is just a beginning stage. Like if somebody is sick, you give him a medicine, he gets a relief from the pain of that sickness. But the yoga is something where it can give you relief but take you beyond. So what is that beyond which can take you?
See, beyond is real you. It is the real you, or you can call it anything, God, you can call it Christ, consciousness, whatever it is. It is basically the universal consciousness. We are the part of universal consciousness. For example, a sun, suppose sun is shining and there are hundreds of earthen pots full of water. We call it batka, or say 100 vessels full of water. And when sun, you keep them in the sunlight, what do you see? You see the reflection of sun in all these vessels. Similarly, our individual consciousness is a reflection of that universal consciousness. And we to think that we are different from the original sun is, you will realize this is stupidity. So we are basically, I am that. Aham Brahmasmi means we are the sun. We are, the problem is with the wrong identification with this body, with the worldly objects, with these worldly thoughts, with these thoughts of sorrows and death and diseases. We are not. So it is only the question of identification, and yoga de-identifies you. Like, for example, I have said earlier also that we are suffering from schizophrenia. We believe in something which we are not, and that's our real problem. So yoga cures our schizophrenia and takes us beyond. Beyond means what we are actually. It is like that. So uh, then you are all pervading, and uh, you have no shape. You can see without eyes. You can hear without ears. I mean, our existence, you can call it, which is beyond dependencies on this body and senses. That you have to realize through yogic practices, and that is going beyond what you just mentioned about, Aditya ji.
The one thing which comes in the Western world is a big propaganda against, like I said, that all other religious groups have made it a big issue now going forward on the yoga. But in their private life, all of them do yoga. All of them, most of them. To their
I'm not surprised.
to their followers, they say don't do yoga. It's a Hindu thing. But they all do it. Their wives do it. The children do it. In fact, one of the key people in the social media, I won't take his name right now, but if they're listening, they will know. They regularly say don't go to yoga, but I know his wife is a yoga teacher. I know that. So
I'm not surprised. I'm not at all surprised. You
and
know, very top Muslims, I mean, are doing yoga. For example, I take the name, the sister of Salman Khan, Alvira Khan. She's my mother's daughter and my sister. I treat her as my sister, and I really love her as my sister. And if you look at her, she's doing yoga regularly, and you can believe it. She has two children, and she looks so young and so fit. Number one, and so healthy and so positive. And secondly, she has got such an open mind. She and that famous actress Katrina Kaif, when they visited Jaipur, we went to Hanuman temple and worshipped Hanuman, and they both their devotion and intensity was worth watching. So this is there are many people who are hypocrites, but there are also many celebrities who are very open about their faith, and people who love yoga are absolutely cannot be anything but hypocrite. You know, they can be anything but hypocrite. What I mean to say that, Aditya ji.
very true, very true. And especially, I would say the religious leaders who regularly talk against yoga, and when they're children, and some of the politicians also, including, people do not know that the country which opposes India the most, Pakistan, is filled with yoga studios everywhere. And
Yes,
it
yes.
is a elite trend, elitist trend. Like the richest of the rich go to yoga. So it's not just the poor people. So if you go to the yoga studios, so to the poor people they sell the lollipop. Yoga is Hindu, but for themselves yoga is cool. You know, that
Oh,
fact.
I will tell you one thing. You know, I wrote an article in the Hindustan Times, the top national daily. I was their column writer. I'm the longest column writer on yoga in the world. I wrote for the newspaper on yoga, regular column for 14 long years. So I wrote an article on namaz and yoga. And for that article, I practiced namaz without kalma for 1.5 months. And a Maulvi taught me the poses. And when I researched on the poses, they are all yoga poses. And whatever the poses they have selected for namaz are extremely good for your digestion, your gut health. So if your gut health is very good, your overall health is very good. So I believe that every Muslim doing namaz is doing yoga. So there is no question of doing yoga separate. Yoga, they are already doing it. This is what I have researched, and that article is worth reading. Thank you, Aditya ji.
This is a fact. Actually, this is a really a fact, because the yoga is extremely popular. I myself enjoy doing it. Now, one of the points which comes is that when we were talking that Sanatan Dharma can never be finished, and it is said in Bhagavad Gita, it is the first dharma or duty taught to a human, and it is going to stay till the last. And the biggest protector of Sanatan Dharma is Devatas themselves who work for Vishnu. Now, and Vishnu is Devadi Dev, according to Adi Sankaracharya and other great acharyas. So now, when we say it's the eternal thing, is never going to vanish from the entire human society, not just India. So why temporarily we are seeing like the other Kaitab dharma or the artificial faiths have come up or duties have come up, and why that's we see that today, and how yoga is actually infiltrating all those people, and people are gradually realizing it. One of the great writers on Sanatan Dharma wrote that that the intelligent people will give up all types of mental speculations and then ultimately surrender to Sanatan Dharma. Do you think is it possible? Is it going to happen? Because the biggest people who are doubting is from India, not others, not outside.
Unfortunately, point is this, that intelligent people, what's the difference between a stupid person and an intelligent person? A stupid person cannot see uh, beyond his immediate actions or immediate things. An intelligent person can. What's the difference between visionary and intellectual? Visionary see beyond 10 years, 20 years. So similarly, people who are intelligent, they they are very quick to realize, and they always ponder whatever you do. You know ki what, why I am doing it. You question it, why I am doing this, what I am going to get out of it, and what is the point in going doing it. Even the most rich people in the world, even Indira Gandhi told to a journalist that few days more like this. Similarly, a rich man like Bill Gates will say few more days like this. My point is that everybody after a certain age realizes that we are mortals, and only the yoga and Sanatan Dharma has questioned the purpose of this life, and not only the purpose, they have given a map, road map, how to go to how to get out of this cyclic lives and death cycle of coming again to the world and going back. And even the Aurangzeb, the great Mughal, I mean, he was a, what I say, who committed great atrocities on Hindus, wrote in last letters that I have wasted my life. So at the end, everybody knows that this life is meaningless. Even Steve Jobs was a follower of famous Neem Karoli Baba, and he was blessed by that Neem Karoli Baba when he was penniless, he was jobless, when he was ousted from his own company, and he came up again. And when the Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg went to Steve Jobs, he was about to sell his company because Facebook was running in losses. He asked him to go to Neem Karoli Baba in India. He went to Neem Karoli, though Baba had taken Samadhi, and there he prayed and looked back. What is it? So even yogis bless for the worldly wealth, but they also, along with the worldly wealth, give them the wisdom to realize that this life is beyond uh, these materialistic gain and success. And they also give, yoga gives a pathway to realize the purpose and aim of this life, which is freedom and realizing your own self, or merging with the universal consciousness, freeing your individual consciousness. Atiti.
So one of the things which are regularly said about the pranayam, you have displayed it one. Which one exercise that people should do on a daily basis, and how many times they should do it? Because this is one question which has come from one student right now who is watching us.
I will tell you, the best exercise and the most effective exercise is diaphragmatic breathing, which we call abdominal breathing. Why I tell you? It is the foundation of good health, because when you are when you are not breathing fully, if you are not breathing diaphragmatically because of the sedentary life or because of the wrong postures, the movement of diaphragm is directly proportional to the movement of the lungs and volume of oxygen you are inhaling. If your posture is wrong, you will be breathing by the uppermost part of the lungs. When you are breathing, that is called hyperventilation kind of a thing. And when you are breathing by the upper lungs, you will breathe faster. When you will breathe faster, it will uh, uh, excite the sympathetic nervous system. So that, and when you excite sympathetic nervous system, you get prepared for, you feel stressed and you get prepared for that action without any rhyme and reason. Thirdly, the carbon dioxide is exhaled more, so the blood become more alkaline. Though the blood is 30% acidic and 70% alkaline. So when it becomes more alkaline, the hemoglobin's capacity to deliver oxygen to the lungs and heart to the blood becomes diminished. Your immune system get diminished, and there are so many related your digestion, your gut health, because when you are not massaging your organs, you get constipated. So your gut health is is affected, and when your gut health is affected, your brain is affected. The hormone. So one simple wrong breathing technique can do many harms to your health, and which is the basic foundation of these diseases and ill health. If you breathe diaphragmatically, you see the difference. You will feel so healthy, and even if you have diseases, you will feel much better in the uh, in the treatment. Aditya ji, this is critical for any yogi. Of diaphragmatic breathing, you can raise your hands up like this and breathe. It will free the diaphragm from and move up and down, and you see the difference. Your moodiness will go, your depression will go. You try it. Again, I will repeat the phrase: the proof of the pudding is in the eating. This is what I have found out. This is the best exercise and simplest exercise. If you don't have time, do this.
Yeah, time is a shortage for everyone, and I think these breathing exercises will also give help to people who are recovering from the current pandemic, and also it will also help them to prepare for the future, like the better time management. So how does yoga help in time management according to you?
Well. You know, if you can try this. You have a regular schedule, you go about it, and you see you are rushing here and you are rushing there. Same 24 hours, same your schedule. Now you do it, observe yourself for 7 days, your normal routine, and see how you are rushing from here to there, from this meeting to that meeting. And then meditate for 3 days. Meditate deeply for 3 days and for longer, for 1 hour each day. And then you observe yourself for next 7 days. Same routine, same everything, and see how coolly and how nicely you manage your time. You have excess time with you. This I have observed. This I have observed. That's why I am telling with conviction. And why it happens, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find out, but till now I have not. But I know this happens. The best time management, if you are meditating, then you will manage your time in the best possible way and with calmness. Aditya ji.
That calmness, some people are scared of the calmness, and they want it to be more passionate, like they can live their life. That's the Western concept: work, and then go for a vacation, and then come back and work. But when we talk about yoga, then every day becomes an enjoyment, and every day every part of the action becomes a fun activity. So was vacation a big concept in ancient India? Because I have not read anywhere. I've read in Mahabharata, Ramayana. There is never a time where Yudhishthira
We
is
are
going on a
always,
vacation.
yeah, yogis are always on vacation. Even
That's
they
why.
are working. Working is even a vacation for them. And
Correct.
there could be no other greater worker than action oriented man than Lord Krishna himself.
Correct.
Karma yoga. He was a karma yogi. And he was so calm and cool. And he never needed vacation. Even, I mean, our body, basically, human body is a conglomerate of billions of one cell organism.
Right.
We are not one. We are a conglomeration of billions of one cell organisms. And these organisms work very efficiently when they work in harmony. In the case of disharmony, they malfunction. So when you hate, when you are jealous, when you are violent, when you are not speaking the truth, there is a disharmony in these cells. And when you are in full of love, love without attachment, They all move in harmony. And when there is harmony, you will be very efficient, you will be very successful. And as the doodle curve, as I spoke last time, that has explained why when stress goes out of our lives, then we are efficiency goes up. Stress, being stressful never increases your efficiency and outcome of the work. That's why you need vacation. If you are always doing in the state of mindfulness, you don't need vacation, Aditya ji. This is my experience.
It's
And
all
any
connect.
challenges,
Yeah, it's all connected to mind, and the mind
of
is,
course,
and mind controlling the mind is a param drishya nivartate, like Bhagavad Gita says. The you have to develop a higher taste. If you keep on doing the same things over a period of time, then try to control the mind, it's not going to happen. For mind, there are different exercises like pranayam, which you mentioned very clearly. And if you control the mind, it is said one who has controlled the mind becomes the best friend. People who do not control the mind becomes the worst enemy. So the friend or enemy is still residing here in our mind. So, and if I ask somebody, where is your mind? They'll say, I don't know where is the mind. So, and
I
if
will
I'm,
tell you where it is. I will tell you where it is. It resides in the billion one cells. All the cells of mind resides there. Basically, our body is in the mind. Mind is encompassing the entire body. Therefore, when mind is affected, the body is affected. If mind is healthy, and there is a very clear-cut connection between mind and the breath. Therefore, the pranayam is critical in curing of diseases, in prevention of diseases, and in sustaining sustenance of good health. Aditi ji,
you said it so well, very, very well put it, because people are taught physical anatomy, people are taught about all the functions of the organs, but mind is nobody talks about. Intelligence nobody talks about, because we all know medically brain is always dead. We all know that, but something activates the brain. And in Sanskrit, we have a very nice word for it called Sukshma Sharir, which is made up of Buddhi, Man, or Ahankar, Mithya Ahankar. And but in the Western world, or even in India now, because this knowledge is not taught to the new kids, for them, yoga is just a 1 hour out of the day in a yoga studio. But according to you, yoga can be practiced anywhere and anywhere, like wherever you are. Now, in the Western world, the education, even in India also, I'm talking about the globally, education doesn't talk about these important matters within ourselves. No definition of Sukshma Sharir, subtle body, so we are only talking about Sthul Sharir. And when you talk about Sthul Sharir, then only you can feed chemicals, because it's made of chemicals. There's one famous scientist calculated all the value of all the chemicals in a body. It comes out to be, in American dollars today, comes out to be around $150. So if somebody asks somebody that if you're just $150 worth, so should I pay you just $150 for hiring your services, or should I pay you $1 million plus for hiring your services?
well, well, I will tell you this, that there is no need uh, to teach or learn about Sukshma Sharira. We can observe this world goes from gross to subtle. For example, when I'm moving my hand, this is gross. People see my hand moving. And if you go to the deeper side, how does it move? You will realize that it has moved because the nerves have taken the impulse to the bones and muscles, and accordingly, the muscles and bones have acted and they raised my hand. Now, if you go further, so from gross muscles and bones, we have got to the finer part that is called nerves. And further we go down, we find that there are endorphins, They are basically chemical messengers and electrical messengers. We take the message from the brain to the site of action. So from nerves we come to these chemical messengers. Now, if we go further inside them, we realize that there are atoms, there are electrons, there are molecules, and uh, then electrons and atoms. Further down, you realize that this is a quantum energy, packets of energy which is working. So we see that we are moving from the grossest possible element to the subtle-most element. And more subtle than these things is our Atma and Chetana or consciousness. Basically, everything in this world is consciousness. And the more your consciousness is stronger, the more you are intelligent, the more you are powerful, the more. And lesser if you cannot develop your consciousness, and mind you, this consciousness can be developed to the highest possible extent and can be strengthened through various yogic techniques. And one of the most powerful way of strengthening this basis of life, consciousness, is mantra yoga. So, so we there is no need to teach about the subtle sukshma sharira, or this is thing to observe and to interpolate and to further uh, you know uh, go inside you and believe it. Aditya ji.
Yeah, I agree with you. For people who are not from the Western world, they don't even have to understand the concept. But it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, which is the original book of yoga. You can also say that because Patanjali Sutra later on it was written by him, but still it is a important book which introduces yoga to the whole world in 18 chapters. So in that it is mentioned over there. People may not have to go into it, but people who are going deep into it, then they can understand that how the body moves from the soul moves from one body to another, and yoga is a way to come out of the bondage of reactions to karma bandhan. It takes you out of the karma bandhan, or the bondage of karma. So so it is not just on the physical body level, but also on the metaphysical level. And that's why people love it, because they can transcend their current problems and see something beyond. So last words from you, concluding words on this. This is a little bit different than our usual show. So what do you have to say to the whole world, that Sanatan, because people are losing hope, especially I'm talking about people from India, that Sanatan Dharma is in danger. And in the Western world, yogis are worried, especially in USA, that yoga people are creating legislations against yoga, and which I say very prominently, that it is not going to happen, because 50 million Americans, no congressman, no legislator can avoid. What is your to say in the concluding remarks, Atulji?
Yoga balam nasti. There is no stronger force in the world. Lord Krishna has said is stronger than yoga. What else I can say, sir? There is the most powerful force ever existing on this earth, as per Lord Krishna, yogam balam nasti. योग जैसा बल देने वाला, योग जैसा बल जो है वो संसार में, ब्रह्मांड में कहीं नहीं. तो योग से सारे बल आते हैं, and you become the Mahabali, and to become more powerful, the most powerful person, you need yoga. Yoga empowers you. Whether you are a woman or you are a man, you are a kid, you are an old man, nothing doesn't matter. Yoga has the power to empower you at any stage and any place, anywhere in the world, what pandemic is. Thank you, Aditi ji. Have a nice day.
Thank,
Namaskar.
thank you very much, Atulji, and thank you all the viewers for watching. And do watch on YouTube and comment over there on this particular episode. You just to conclude, I'll conclude that yoga, Sanatan Dharma can never go away, and more people adopt it. It's going to become more prominent. Namaste. Thank you.
No, it will be for their own good. It is Yoga is the only, as I said earlier, I repeated last time, yoga is the only solution for the mankind in all kinds of problems. I repeat. So, and I mean it. And one can test it and one can apply anywhere. You will find the solution there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Namaste.